Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. Welcome to our podcast. I am excited to hang out with you today.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. We're just going to have a chat. I'm really excited about today because sometimes we talk, sometimes we kind of have an idea of what we're going to say.
Yeah.
And I find the best days are like when we know a topic, but we don't actually know how the other person thinks about it or what's going to come out of our mouths. So it really is like two highly intellectual, super cool chicks sitting at the bar, sitting at happy hour.
Yes.
And just having a philosophical conversation that will change someone's life if they overhear.
Yeah. And who knows, it might change ours too.
It might change. Usually it does. Usually I am here thinking, fuck, that was brilliant. I needed to hear that today. To internalize that. Yes. So I am drinking. I said I was going to drink an alcoholic drink, but I am not. I am drinking a passion fruit mojito from Burwood, and it is a non-alcoholic mojito, and it is in a can. But I fancied it up because I placed it in a martini glass.
See how pretty it is?
See how pretty it is?
Martini glass.
I know. I just love it.
Oh, it looks delicious.
It's very limey. And you know what? You know what I really love? I was watching a trashy show the other day, and there's a number of people that are saying that they're sober curious, or I can't remember the other word, which are kind of strange, maybe terms, but I do see that people are going more to non-alcoholic beers and non-alcoholic drinks and like fancy though, like super cool, like,
cool
like
glasses.
yeah, like beautiful, not just like, oh, I'll have a Coke, but like, let me have a cocktail, but non-alcoholic and special.
It's called a mocktail.
Yes, a mocktail. I forgot the word, but I love that. And so I was watching the show yesterday, and they were ordering like really cool mocktail drinks, and this group of them is like all about drinking. So a few of them have started to not, and yeah, I just thought, shit, that sounds good. So now I'm having a non-alcoholic mojito.
Nice. In a martini glass.
In a martini glass. So it's a little, yes. What are you drinking today? I said I was going to drink wine too.
Yeah. I am drinking a Blondie's Cuvée. So it's from Seven Creeks, and that is their dog, Blondie, who is at the winery. And he just wanders around and tries to eat everybody's charcuterie boards. Cutest thing ever. And I'm drinking it in my beautiful new cup that my sister-in-law got me for my birthday.
My gosh, how cool.
Yes. Got another piece of Waterford crystal.
Another piece. Is that the only one that's pink or reddish?
Yeah. She's like, the other ones are clear.
Clear.
Yeah, but she got this and she goes, I'm sorry, I could only afford to get you one. And I said, that's okay. I don't share them anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep your hands off my Waterford. Awesome.
So
I love it. So what are we going to talk about today?
Okay. I was catching up with one of my girlfriends this week, and we chat about every 2 weeks and just kind of catch up and, set some time aside on the calendar because we've got stuff going on. But over the past several years, she's got some health issues that doctors really can't find any reason for. And she's given up caffeine. She's given up alcohol. She's like going through trying to figure out what's going on. And it seems to be getting worse, and she's really tired and just doesn't feel good. And her anxiety, sometimes she'll just completely lose it. And she's talking about what she's feeling. And I'm like, are you journaling? And she goes, I journal every day. And I go, yay.
Yeah.
She goes, I journal about my symptoms.
Oh, no.
And she goes, I've got to document everything for the doctors so that they'll understand what I'm going through. And in my head, I'm like, oh dear God, like, no
Mhm.
wonder it's getting bigger.
Mhm.
And I said, well, have you thought about a gratitude journal? And she wasn't really, she's kind of like,
Yeah.
but, I watch her. There are times that she's fine, but when she works too much, as soon as she gets home, she's toast. She can travel, go up to DC, like do all these things and functions fine while she's there. But she does say, I'm always afraid I'm going to have a panic attack or I'm going to lose it or and then she gets home and she just will crash. And I think, well, first of all, I said, do you want to do a session?
Yeah.
Like, I've got some things that will help with this. And it
Right.
was, no, 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 no. I'm just going to keep my doctor's appointment. And she doesn't understand what I do. She doesn't she doesn't see value in it, which
No.
I understand. Doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
But and she is very different from me in that sense. We're
Mhm.
kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum with
Mhm.
regards to religion, politics, just philosophies on life. But we have a
Everything.
lot of other stuff in common.
Mhm.
So we have meaningful conversations, but she was not having any of it. And I stopped and I thought, wow, I do that too. Someone can have the answer that I'm looking for, but I don't believe it's there. And my
Mhm.
brain won't let me see it. It just disregard, disregard.
Mhm.
And it was interesting to see it in real life because I was wanting to jump up and down and go, oh my gosh, you need to
Right.
find your power. And she will in her time when she's
I want
ready.
her I want her to get a hypnosis session with you.
Mhm.
And then, because realistically, like in my mind, I'm thinking, why would anyone not? I mean,
But
put
there
it
are
on,
people that
go to
are
sleep.
afraid of it.
Good. Yeah. Well, I'm not clucking like a chicken yet. And I've been listening to yours still, and I still do. Like, I still, we were, when you did that one session for me, I was in not a good headspace and a
Mhm.
lot of fear and a lot of worry. And when something similar comes up, when I know that situation comes up where that same hypnosis will work,
Mhm.
I still put it on.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy.
Uh-huh.
I don't have to do any work. I don't even have to think anything. I could just like put it on and go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
Like, just give it to
Yeah.
God and go to sleep or whatever. I just like literally like, okay, let's listen to Leigh for a little bit and her cute accent. Like, and then I go to sleep. Like, it is beautiful because I don't have to do anything.
Mhm.
I don't have to sit and stare and poke at my traumas or poke at my, not that I don't do that. And I mean, I see value in that too.
Mhm.
But sometimes we get so exhausted almost by
Yeah.
our bullshit
Mhm.
that and sometimes we get like comforted by the problem.
Yes.
It becomes our identity and
Mhm.
we own it. And then it's hard for us to let it go because, well, who are we if we don't have that feeling? Who are we if we don't have that complaint?
Yeah.
Like, when it becomes our identity, wow, it is a tattoo on our face,
Mhm.
and it
We
takes all
carry it everywhere and tell everybody.
we do, and
Mhm.
then it's like, if I don't allow myself to do that, who the fuck am I?
Mhm.
It's so it's and I think we have to get sick of our own crap,
Yep.
right?
Once we realize, and we've talked about this probably a couple of times over the past few weeks, the solution is in the problem.
Totally.
When the problem shows up, we
Yeah.
see the problem instead of going, well, fuck, what the hell am I going to do now?
Yeah.
This is going to happen and this is going to happen and the sky is falling and I'm going to lose my mind.
Mhm.
What if we went, oh, this problem is here, which means there's a solution to solve it. What's the solution? What am I going to learn? How am I going to grow? Where is this going to take me?
Yeah. But I think so. Here's the question that I have for you.
Okay.
This is like totally how we chat. I knew this was going to be the way that the call was going to go.
Yeah.
So here I have a question for you. Is do you think that we, you and me,
Hmm.
everyone else that's like us, can see that more readily, see that when there's a trigger come up, where there's a problem come up, the problem, like the solution is in the problem, that it's like a gift wrapped in sandpaper, but it's still a gift
Hmm.
and it's helping us to evolve. Do you think that it's because we are so damned focused on personal development and evolution and growth
Hmm.
every day
Hmm.
that it's easier for us to see problems being gifts?
Yeah. And
I think
Sandra, I think it's because we've dealt with some shit.
true,
And
true.
for me personally, I didn't always deal with it like this.
Hmm.
Something would happen, I would go into panic mode. What am I going to do? Oh my God, my life is over. And
Yeah,
Sandra, I'm telling you, there were times that that would not be an exaggeration because there were catastrophic things happening. But
yeah.
there are times that it was something simple that I just defaulted to that emotional state when
Hmm.
anything outside of what I was asking for,
Hmm.
wanting happened. And
Yeah,
I didn't deal with it well. And I think because we're learning and growing and constantly trying to do better and be better, that's where we've ended up. And I
yeah.
think that's because I think we all have to go through our stuff, handle it in a not so great way,
Mhm.
and go, well, I didn't really handle that the way I wanted to. What could I do better next time? How could I evolve?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think too that for me, I spent a lot of years probably feeling just as a child of an alcoholic, like living in that, trying to not take up space, trying to not create problems, trying to kind of like make sure that I stuffed anything. So, like, pretty much just pretend normal,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
pretend everything was fine.
Be still, be pretty, be quiet. Just sit over there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll never forget one day my kids were just like, I have a sign in my house that says welcome to the zoo. And it felt like a zoo. And I mean, I know like my mom would say, why would you have that there? Because you believe in feng shui and you're putting that out there. And to me, that welcome to the zoo was just like, okay, like just relax. It feels like a zoo
Wait,
sometimes.
it feels
Be
playful to
okay.
me.
That's how I meant. That's how
Yeah.
I meant. It was like, you know,
Yeah.
but there was a day where my two kids were like just at each other's throats, fighting, fighting, fighting. And my mom said, I just don't understand. I just don't understand why they're doing this. I mean, you guys never did that. You guys never, I mean, you and your brother, you never fought. And I looked at my husband and said, you know what the problem is? You don't fucking drink enough. If you were a piss tank, our kids would be perfect.
They're not
So
scared enough.
that's the truth. There's chaos in our house. So
Uh-huh.
if there was, the kids would be perfect.
Mhm.
Great. But anyway, but I feel like I spent a lot of time pretending there was no problem, pretending normal, trying to be not take up space and be perfect.
Mhm.
And then I had to go through this period of time where it was like, oh shit, things are actually not good. Now what do I do? And I didn't
Mhm.
handle it very well. And
Mhm.
I had to kind of, when I felt that chaos, it was like my whole life was chaotic and I would make choices that were stupid. And then I was in response to those too. And it all of a sudden it became this like,
Mhm.
I need to face my own stuff because I'm not a victim to all of this. I'm
Mhm.
creating my own hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I could recognize that, when I could like really step into, wait a minute, I am in charge of everything. And you know what? Maybe it was the secret too, because
Oh,
that
man.
Like, I mean, 20 years ago when I watched it the first time or whatever, it
Has it
was,
been that long?
I don't know, probably longer. But
No,
yeah,
I'm trying to think when it came out. Maybe 2008, 2006, 2005. We'll look it
I
up. You just keep going.
almost, okay, but we're like almost 20 years then. Anyway,
Oh, oh yeah, you're right.
yeah, yeah. But when it first came out and I was watching it, I will never forget. I forget most of it. But the one thing that I will never forget is the woman who had breast cancer who said that all she did was watch shows that made her laugh
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
beat it. And I thought, shit, what would I do in that situation right now? I'd be crying, I'd be panicking, I would be losing it. And I have spent time doing that when I found my first cyst.
Hmm.
And it was like life changing for me because I thought, shit, I I am in control.
Hmm.
The only thing that I'm in control of sometimes is how I react and how I feel and what comes out,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
some things, shitty things happen,
Hmm.
but we get to choose our response or our reaction.
Hmm.
We get
For
to
sure.
choose how we're going to live life. And it was this huge aha moment for me. I'm like, shit, I only get one life here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I heard that quote, but I didn't clue in. I only get one life, so I'm not going to waste it being a miserable cat or being fearful or focusing on shit that I don't want
Right.
because
Because that's,
what
that's
we
what you're
focus
going to
on
get.
what we focus on expands.
Yeah.
But I do, what I have to say is I'm glad that she's journaling, but what I do is like I journal all of my negative shit out because otherwise, like, when you say to me, but what do you want? I register there, but I feel like I need to almost like dump everything that is going in my mind first. Like I want to dump
Kind
it
of
and then
cleanse it.
go, what do I want? Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Well,
like,
it's like talking to somebody about something that's bothering you,
yes,
not to vent, but to
right,
put it out in the open so you can realize this isn't shameful.
right.
Like, and you just even let it go. But there's a
Yeah.
difference. You got to talk to the right person. Because if you talk to the wrong person, then you're going to be wallowing in it.
Well, that's the thing, right? That's why coaches are so great
Yeah.
because coaches aren't going to allow you to rub your face in this pile of dog shit.
No.
And like, I would hope that any of my friends, I would hope would shine a light, shine a mirror, go, wait a minute, like, what are you? Like, you just seem
Mm.
triggered to, or is this is your trigger of judgment, unfair judgment, or this is your trigger of fairness, or this is your trigger of integrity. Well, like,
Yeah.
um, but I think, yeah, we can get so that we hang out with people who justify our excuses.
Hmm.
And if we want to hold on to them because we feel safe in our fuck upness,
Yeah.
then we get almost resistant to anyone that's trying to pull you out of it, right?
Hmm. Yep.
But I know for me, if I can't journal it out, I'll pick up the phone and go, okay, Leigh, I need some help here. Sometimes it's like,
Yeah.
you've got to control my subconscious and like, you got to do a hypnosis. But I usually can journal it out and then I'll say, I release this all now and I choose to believe, or I'll release this all now. Lord, what would you have me do? Or I release this all now. What are my next steps? And just kind of write and see what comes through.
Yeah.
And I just believe that's just divine, like it's source
Oh,
speaking
it
through
is. And sometimes there's something that needs to happen and I don't know how to do it.
me.
And I'm like, God, this is yours.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this on your to-do list because it is above my pay grade. Like, can you
Yep.
handle this for me? And I
Yep.
laugh and I laugh when it just works itself out. I literally do nothing.
He's super powerful as it
It's
turns out.
crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But we can do that. that, I don't what however you relate, whether they're angels or the
Yeah.
universe or source or
It doesn't
Jesus
matter.
or
Buddha doesn't
Buddha,
matter.
doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But
But give it
assign them,
some higher power. Like,
yes,
so that it doesn't become something that we feel we have to fix.
correct.
Because
Correct.
fixing energy is heavy energy.
I had to bring breakfast to the hospital one morning. We were having a meeting for the maternity ward or department or whatever, and for books for babies. And so I was bringing in food. It was lunch, actually, it was food, but they wanted me there at 10. I couldn't pick up the food until 10. And so the president of the foundation was like, yeah, I need you there. You can't go pick up food. And I'm like, well, I don't know who's coming. So I don't know who's going to get food. And he goes, well, you'll need to figure that out because I need you there at 10.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay. And I was like, I don't know who's going. So I don't even know where to start down the list. So I'm just going to order the food. I will go up to the hospital. If someone's there, I can send them. And if someone is not there, then I will leave. No one will die. They will
Yeah.
eat. I'm not worried about it because my day was just jam packed. So that morning, I'm not thinking about it. I've released it. That morning, I get a text from a number I do not know. And it says, good morning, Leigh. This is Kristen. I'm coming up to the hospital to meet with y'all today for the Books for Babies presentation. Would you like me to grab lunch when I'm on my way in? Well, sure,
Yes,
Kristen.
I would,
That would
Kristen.
be great. Done. But things can be that easy. But we
Yeah.
have to complicate them. And we have to get mad because they want me there. And I don't know who's going to be there. And now I've got to call all of these people and waste all of this time and do all of these things to make this happen.
Yeah.
Or we can go, it'll be fine. I don't know how it's going to work out, but it'll
Yeah.
work out. And it works
Yeah.
out.
Totally.
Yeah.
But when we spend so much energy in the problem,
And bitching about it.
we
Yeah.
block the universe from fixing it.
Well, because then the universe is like, oh, you want to handle it. Go
Yeah,
for it. You do it.
exactly.
I could have
Exactly.
saved you,
I
but
know.
it's fun.
It and it takes, I think, I believe, maybe this is just something I'm telling myself, but I believe that it takes practice because I I have seen it happen so many times, but my default is to try to fucking fix it. And then I have to catch myself and go, "Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa." Like I my default is still there. And I
Yeah.
hope it won't be eventually. Like I hope my default will shift over time. The more times I leave it to God,
Yeah.
the more times like that I will stop that response mode, that like
Yeah.
trauma response or that the default.
Well, what will happen is it will accidentally happen sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be going, I've got this to do. I've got this. I'll figure it out. I don't have time for that right now, but this is going to work out. And it's almost like you're just sliding it over to the universe's side. And
To
then it fixes itself. And you go, oh shit, I totally released that. And look.
yeah.
And so then you start becoming familiar with how it happens. And
Yeah.
then it becomes more natural to do.
This happened this weekend. So my son had a leak in his car and he's away at university. And so we took it into this dealership. Why? I don't know why we did that. But anyway, we took it into this dealership because it was close by. And they quoted us $8,000 to fix this thing. It's like a $15,000 car. Like it's just my son's like come back and forth car.
Sure.
And so Cam was like, this is his trigger. So Cam was like,
Oh,
what
yeah, the money thing.
are we gonna do? Ah. And so we ended up like he was kind of panicking, and I'm like, it's gonna work itself out. I don't feel $8,000. Like it's not gonna cost us 8,000. I know it's
Yeah.
not. No,
Yeah.
it's not. I know it's not. I'm just like chill. So then he starts talking to our daughter, just happened to have her car in for a wheel alignment. And so he goes in and he talks to this dude, and this dude's like, you wouldn't believe how many people come in with a dealership quote that's astronomical. I've got this one $8,000 and it came in at $3,000. I got this one $3,500 and I charged $500. So Cam is like, oh, okay. Then he's talking to a friend who has another dealership. And the guy's like, yeah, I can check. That seems crazy. I can check it out. And then he's like, he's all up in this problem. And I'm just like, release, surrender.
Yeah.
God's got this. It's
Yeah.
all going to be.
Yeah.
We drive into Edmonton. And on the way, we see a friend who has a brother that lives in Edmonton. The brother calls Cam and says, hey, I got a really good mechanic and he's not going to charge you $8,000. That's bullshit. It just all worked out. We took it to this guy. But like in the meantime, he was freaking the fuck out, Cam, right? Because he was triggered.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there. We go, it's like, it's the new year, like the Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year. Cole says, let's go to PF Chang's. They had these cool drinks. They had like sushi under a smoke cloche, like super cool. And I'm just like loving it. I'm not like, woohoo. And there's dragons and there's like all of these cool things. And I'm just having a blast. And Cam is looking at me like I am nuts because we haven't figured out the problem yet. And
Or
he's
the
like,
solution.
they haven't figured out the solution. And so he's like, oh, we got to get out of here. We got to hurry up. Where's the food? I got to like, yeah. Okay. Here comes the sushi. And like, he was just freaking the fuck out because he was so focused on the problem. He was so focused on like, oh, we're going to drive this vehicle all the way back to like 3.5 hours. And what if something happens? It's going to be dark. And it just worked out like magic. And we went in to go shopping. And he looked at me and he said, thank you for having fun today. And I'm like, okay, that's a weird comment. Why would you like, you're welcome.
Thank you for letting me.
It was a great day. And he's
Yeah.
like, you having fun reminded me not to freak the fuck out. And I thought, because we were in the same problem.
Yeah.
We were in the same problem, but I just trusted that the solution was going to come. And I knew my gut, I wasn't so in my head. My gut knew it's all going to work out.
That is your answer to any fucking problem. That's it.
And
what you just did. That's it.
absolutely. Yeah.
Because
surrender.
yeah, and the guy calling you going, hey, that's bullshit. I'll fix it.
Yeah.
I mean, that should just make you laugh and go, yeah, I
Of
get it.
course.
I get
Right?
it.
I know. It was just so magical. Like, I just like, but we can spend, so, I mean, one of us had an amazing fucking day.
Yeah. But
The other
he
one of us,
watched you model that for him.
yeah.
And so now he has a point of reference when something like that pops up again. Like, whoa, last time this happened, I freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
We didn't do really anything and it worked itself out.
Right.
And I ruined a whole day being in fear mode when I could have been enjoying the drinks and the food and the atmosphere and all the energy around me.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that again. I think I want to be playful this time.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, like Cole was with us too, right? And so Cam was like, all in this, like, I don't know where to take the car and what are we gonna do? Whoa. And I'm just like, happy here. Cute smile. Like Cole said, are you drunk? Like, what is happening?
It almost feels that way though.
It did. And it does. It's
Because
like
it's just like, eh.
Rick, like, yeah.
It'd be
It's all
fun.
gonna work out. It's all magical.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and then when it does work out, it's like I wasn't even excited about it because it was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. I knew that was
Like, yeah,
coming.
of course. Of course, I knew this was gonna happen.
Yay. And of course.
Yes, exactly. I know, it was so amazing.
And on that note,
How the hell did we get here?
yeah,
30 minutes.
I
But
know we did
it was
not get everywhere we intended to be today, but that's
we
okay.
did not, but I knew I led with we were just going to go wherever. I
Yeah.
knew we were going to just,
Yeah.
yeah. And we did not know where we were going to go.
I love it.
I know,
Thank
me
you.
too.
This was good. I needed this today. And thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.